Because it's game time, people. Atlanta Braves against the Los Angeles Dodgers right here on Fox.
Tonight in the City of Angels, it's a story scripted straight from the legends of Hollywood. It's Major League Baseball on Fox. Yesterday, beneath the California sun, baseball beauty took place in an awesome display of pitching at its purest form. A 2-1 thriller that took 10 to decide the side. For the Blue, Ramon Martinez rocked them down with a grade 8. But for the Braves, Smoltz is packing a smoking gun that reeks of Cy Young. In CA, it's time for Piazza and his Blue boys to make their move. And with Ismael on the hill, their right to fight has been validated. But in the way of L.A. stands 4-time Cy Young man Greg Maddux. It's the Braves and Dodgers in Game 2 of the NL Division Series on Fox.
On an absolutely sparkling day for baseball, Fox Sports is proud to present the National League Division Series. Today, it's Game 2 between the defending world champion Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers. A cerulean blue sky overhead here in Los Angeles, but Dodger fans are feeling blue today as the Atlanta Braves took Game 1 2-1, and today a great pitching matchup of 4-time Cy Young winner Greg Maddux against Dodger right-hander Ismael Valdez. And hello again, everybody. I'm Chip Carey along with Dave Winfield and Steve Psycho Lyons. Welcome to Game 2. Friends, it doesn't get any better than this. A must-win situation for the Dodgers, Steve, who have lost their last 5 games, and today run into Greg Maddux in a must-win situation.
Well, absolutely. And yesterday, the key to that ball game, John Smoltz gets to first base on a play right off the get-go, first inning. The play is called safe. He goes nuts. Everyone's arguing on this play. In years past, Smoltz would have unraveled right there. He wouldn't have been able to handle the pressure. It would have opened the door to a 3-run inning. This year, as you can tell, he's much more focused. He gets himself back under control, and he does the job.
Boy, did he ever. 27 first pitch strikes in Game 1. The last 17 pitches he threw in the game were strikes as well, and John Smoltz got the win. For Dodger fans, the wrong catcher made the big play in the game last night. Javier Lopez for the Braves with the winning blow.
Well, this team, you talk about a team that's gained a tremendous amount of maturity. They've been a good team for a long time. Javi Lopez last year in Game 6 of the World Series hits a ball to deep left field. He thinks it's going to be a home run. He knows it's going to be a home run. Unfortunately, it doesn't go out of the yard. This year, he takes the ball the opposite way with a lot more power, a lot more maturity. Not only is he a great offensive player, but he's gained a lot of maturity behind the plate. You don't hear those rumblings anymore about those Brave pitchers not wanting to pitch to Javi Lopez anymore.
It's like, what about the other ball hit last night that everybody thought was going to be a home run? The Mike Piazza fly ball in the 8th inning. All those innings, all those games, have they finally taken their toll?
I really think so. Even Mike himself has said in the past that he's tired. He's had a tough time getting up. Here's a ball that a month ago would have ended up in the seats. It's a pretty good swing. He got a good hack at it, and there you see 360. It dies at the warning track the way I used to hit him. This is a tired catcher back there right now.
Well, I asked Braves pitching coach Leo Mazzoni about that. He said, I don't buy it. We'll see who is right. Is Mike Piazza tired? Well, let's find out. Dave Winfield earlier talked with the Dodger catcher.
Mike, the Dodgers had an extremely strong stretch run, and they played the Padres. They lost out at the end. Did it seem like everybody left everything on the field at that point?
I don't think so, Dave. I think, you know, we've been resilient all year, and we just had a tough end of the season. Basically, we've done something right to get into the playoffs, and we just got to score runs. You know, you can't win games if you don't score runs.
That's true. You are the focal point of the Dodger offense, have been all year. You're going through your own period of adjustment. Do you think that you're ready for this series?
I think so. I mean, I think the key is, I mean, obviously for me, I've been not swinging the bat as well as I'd hoped this series, but I mean, we have to have production from everybody. We have to get our leadoff guys on, setting the table, and creating a little bit of havoc on the bases.
Did the guys get together and have a discussion about what they need to do for this particular series?
Well, nothing real specific, but, you know we have to do. We know what our job is, and again, hopefully we'll be able to do that. We just have to get things going and get a spark offensively.
Are they at the point where it's do or die yet?
I think so. I think we need to win this game tonight. I mean, you don't want to go back into Atlanta being down 2-0 in a 5-game series.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike.
All right, Dave, thanks.
Do or die time for the Dodgers. Certainly the same story for the San Diego Padres. Moments ago at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Padres went down 2-0 to the St. Louis Cardinals. 5-4 the final. The big play, 8th inning. Tom Pagnazio at the plate. Little chopper to second, off the glove of Trevor Hoffman. Padres can't throw home. Brian Jordan scores the winning run. Andy Bennis the win. Eckersley the save. St. Louis leads the series 2-0 as they head back to San Diego. Now, friends, for the story that just won't go away. We understand umpire Umpires Union Chief Richie Phillips will order umpires after today's game in Los Angeles to walk out for the rest of the playoffs. They will be in court in Philadelphia tomorrow, saying that there are unsafe labor conditions for Major League Baseball's umpires. Baseball will seek an injunction to force the umpires to stay on the job. I understand that there are replacement umpires at all sites for Major League Baseball playoff games. Baseball says the games will go on. So it's time to play ball here in Los Angeles. It doesn't get any better than this. A great pitching matchup for Game 2 between the Braves and the Dodgers. And standing by with the play-by-play call, our A-team of Joe Buck and Tim McCarver. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Chip Carey. We get ready for game number 2 of this division series between the world champion Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tim, you know, we saw the Dodgers stumble going to the finish line at the end of September. Now here they are. Their offense is in the tank. They picked the wrong time to get into a slump.
Well, normally, Joe, there's not that much of a carryover from the regular season to postseason. But consider this. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the first National League team to lose their last 4 games of the season and make it to postseason play, including yesterday's loss to John Smoltz and the Braves. They have lost 5 in a row, averaging about a run a game, 44 strikeouts, very poor with runners in scoring position. Also, consider this. Baseball is a game of first. You get the first strike on the batter, the first out in the inning, the first run in a game. That's an adage that is certainly important for the Dodgers tonight.
Well, the Dodgers stumbled. They lost what looked like a stranglehold on the National League's Western Division, so they end up the wild card winner. What's their prize? Go face the Braves. This is not the team you want to face when you're struggling.
That's some prize, because every game that the Dodgers play, even if it goes to 5, will be manned as a starter by a past or a future Cy Young Award winner. Greg Maddux has won it 4 years in a row, Tommy Glavine in 1991, and John Smoltz will win it this year. So it may not be Mount Everest, but it's certainly Mount McKinley.
Well, I guess with his boots on and his pack firmly strapped to his back, young Ismael Valdez, only 23 years old, his biggest start ever in his young big league career. He's on the mound for the Dodgers. Hey, it's the wild card Dodgers and the world champion Braves coming up after this from your local Fox station, your home for the 1996 World Series. Yes, it is Los Angeles, and yes, it is Dodger Stadium, and this is Game 2 of the National League's Division Series between the Dodgers and the Braves. A look at the Braves starting lineup. Marquise Grissom will lead it off, 207 hits. Then Mark Lemke, Chipper Jones. He just keeps doing it. Could have won last year's Rookie of the Year award. Cleaning up, it's Fred McGriff at first, Ryan Klesko in left, Jermaine Dye in right, Eddie Perez catching Greg Maddux with Jeff Blauser batting 8th and playing short. The defense for the Dodgers. Raul Mondesi, 42 outfield assists. He's got that tattoo on his right arm of a cannon. He can throw, and very few teams test him. What a weapon to have in right field for the Dodgers. And on the mound, just 23 years old. By far, Tim, his biggest start in the big leagues, Ismael Valdez.
15-7 this year. A very good earned run average. He's 3-1 lifetime against Atlanta. And Bobby Cox, probably the biggest admirer of Ismael Valdez. The manager of the Braves telling us today he'd take him in a second.
Said he is the entire package, the complete package, and the Braves hope that he unravels here tonight. Ismael Valdez in a very important start. Beautiful evening, very pleasant here in Los Angeles, but inside Dodger Stadium, well, the fans and the Dodgers, I'm sure, a little anxious. See how this one will unfold. The Dodgers, Tim, simply have to win this game. After this, it's back to Atlanta for 3. And after this, it's Hideo Nomo facing Tommy Glavine. Marquise Grissom leads it off, and here's a good look at Ismael Valdez as he fired ball 1 to Grissom. And now ball 2.
That's one of those sayings in baseball, big game tonight. That's overused by a lot of players, a lot of teams. It's not overused by the Dodgers this evening.
Grissom on 2-0 comes up empty. 2 balls and a strike with Lemke to follow, and then Chipper Jones here in the first inning. 2 balls and a strike, and now 2-2. What a year for Marquise Grissom. 207 hits, the first Atlanta Braves player to have over 200 hits since Ralph Garr did it in 1974. And what a weapon to have at the top of the lineup for this Braves club, with the thunder they have that follows. Grissom strikes out, and a good start for Valdez and the Dodgers here this evening.
Valdez fell behind with the fastball.
Number 20.
And after the foul ball down the first baseline, comes in with a straight change to Marquise Grissom. Very effective pitch for Valdez. Straight change, a good tailing fastball in the low 90s, and a good curveball. He'll throw an occasional slider, but not that often.
Here is Mark Lemke. Lemke 0 for 4 in the series opener here yesterday afternoon, and he comes up empty with strike one. Lemke, a terrific number 2 hitter. You wonder if he would fit in so well with any other team other than Atlanta. He fits this team perfectly and is the kind of guy Bobby Cox wants in that number 2 spot.
Speaking of fitting, that's where Ismael Valdez will fit his fastballs to left-handed batters tonight. Keep an eye on the outside part of the plate right there. Dave Wallace, the pitching coach of the Dodgers, has been trying to convince Valdez that it's very important to come inside, but for now Valdez works the outside part of the plate to left-handers about 80% of the time.
A ball and 2 strikes from Valdez. That barely missed up and away. 2-2. Lemke during the regular season hit .255. Was on the disabled list. 15-day DL with a left thumb ligament strain. The Braves missed him. Did he check his swing? Yes, says Bruce Fleming, and the count 3-2.
It appeared that Mark held up on this swing. Yep, he did not go. But there again, Valdez away from Lemke, and you'll see that pattern even when the big guns come up.
Big gun waiting on deck, and the count stays 3-2 on Lemke.
I think both managers, Joe, Bill Russell and Bobby Cox, implying to us today that they're going to play the first, second, and third inning as though it were the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. Bunt early.
Lemke flies to center for Kirby. 2 up, 2 down to the Braves first.
Normally you don't play for 1 run in the early innings, but the starting pitchers for both teams are so strong.
Batting third.
The Dodgers with the best team ERA in the National League, and Atlanta with the second best.
Here's Chipper Jones. 2 out, nobody on. Chipper 0 for 2 in the game here yesterday. Strike 1. Ismael Valdez will be happy to get this first inning under his belt, out of the way, go to that dugout bench, relax a little bit, focus on the next 8. Base is empty, 2 out. That's a strike, 0-2. Team leader this season, and in many categories last season, his rookie year, a team leader. Keep in mind, Jones has been doing that this year while they've toyed with him a little defensively. Last year outstanding at third, started this year at third. He's moved to the outfield at times, to shortstop. Nothing seems to bother him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, Tim, over the outside portion of the plate.
I think that 0-2 pitch was designed to come inside, but if you don't have confidence coming in, then stay away.
First 2 are gone for the Braves here in the first, and Chipper Jones, the chopper to Karras. The flip, the out. A 1-2-3 first inning for Ismael Valdez. Dodgers come to bat, bottom of the first inning, game 2 of this series. They face Maddux. No score. The Braves went in order in their half of the first. So look at the Dodger lineup. They lead it off with Todd Hollinsworth, most likely this year's Rookie of the Year. Then Wayne Kirby, then Mike Piazza, .336 hitter during the regular season. Eric Karras cleaning up, then Raul Mondesi, 70 extra base hits. He has really finished the 1996 season strong. Tim Wallach is at third base, then Greg Gagne. Juan Castro is playing second base, batting 8th, and on the mound, pitching and batting 9th is Ismael Valdez. The defense for the Braves, Marquise Grissom. He'll play very shallow, but there are few shots that get beyond him in center field. He is as good as it gets in center in this league. And here's Greg Maddux, as good as it gets on the mound in all of baseball.
Greg Maddux has started 124 games for the Atlanta Braves. In 120 of those games, he's had more ground outs than flyouts.
There's a strike over the outside corner to Todd Hollinsworth.
Tough to hit a ground ball out of the ballpark.
Last time I checked. A strike on Hollinsworth, who tapered off at the end of the year, finished the season in a 2 out of 27 slump. But he starts it a good way for the Dodgers in the first. Klesko kicks it in. Hollinsworth is at second with nobody out.
Oh, he talked about that number 1. Try to get the first runner on in an inning. This ball squirting toward the line. Ryan Klesko caught the ball in the heel of his glove. Karem's out. It'll be an error on Klesko and a single for Hollinsworth. And we'll see now if Bill Russell plays the 1 run at a time early, as he told us he might do before the game.
Meaning, will they bunt with Wayne Kirby?
Yep.
It would be extremely important for the Dodgers to get out in front early. See how they play it with Kirby.
Yep.
Bunting. Foul.
Wayne Kirby trying to be a little too fine with that bunt. This is a sacrifice and not a bunt for a base hit. Jones is in at third. If you make Jones field the ball, Hollinsworth can walk to third. This ball hugging the line and ending up foul. I think he may square around right here, but this situation, Joe, definitely calls for the sacrifice.
A single and an error on the ball hit by Hollinsworth. Now they change up and Kirby pops it up. That will get out of play for strike 2. So they gave him one chance to get the runner over with a bunt, couldn't do it. And now Kirby in the hole 0-2. Had a hit yesterday, and he is nestled right into this Dodger lineup very nicely and filled in for Bill Russell, while Brett Butler has been in and out of the lineup for the Dodgers this season. Just missed the inside corner, 1-2. It is amazing the ability Greg Maddux has to put the ball where he wants to. Pitch after pitch after pitch.
Relying primarily on finger pressure. The index finger and the middle finger to cut it or sink it.
Runner at second, nobody out. Kirby gets the job done. Lemke to put out, and a runner at third, 1 out in the first. You get the runner to third, 1 out, and you turn it over to Mike Piazza. And it may surprise people to see what Piazza does. Outfield hits by direction. Look what he does to right. He is as strong, Jimmy, as any hitter in this league going the other way.
Almost like a left-handed pull hitter. And to give you an idea of how important the early innings in, the Atlanta infield is in with Piazza batting.
Late on that cut, strike 1.
That's a telltale sign that Bobby Cox does not believe a lot of runs are going to be scored in this game. Play your infield in the first inning with Piazza batting.
Mike Piazza went into a September swoon. Yesterday had a hit as he punched one to right. Strike 2. On our Fox box in the top left-hand corner of your screen, the red dot on third base indicating a runner at third with 1 out. Here in the first inning, an 0-2 count on Piazza trying to put the Dodgers on top. To the right side, Hollinsworth will score, and the Dodgers take the lead.
Excellent job by Todd Hollinsworth, the runner at third, going on contact. Bill Russell saying that you're not going to get that many chances against Maddux. Take advantage of it when you can. And it's a weird type of run. A loop single the other way, an error on Klesko, a ground out, and another ground out. Look at the jump that Todd Hollingsworth has. And he scores the first run of the ball game.
Now Karras grounds to second. The first inning is history, but not before the Dodgers strike first. They desperately needed an early lead, and they get a first inning run off Greg Maddux. He won't thump his chest about it, but it got the job done. Dodgers strike first in a game they desperately need. The next 3 games coming up in Atlanta. Braves leading this series 1-0, and Fred McGriff leads it off second inning. Dodgers up by 1, and Valdez again over the outside part of the plate. Strike 1 to McGriff. Valdez had a perfect first inning, including a strikeout. He's 0-2 on McGriff. Home plate umpire this evening is Eric Gregg, with Tom Hallion at first, Harry Tate at second, Bruce Fremming is at third, Bill Hahn down the left field line, Steve Ripley down the right field line. Easy comebacker. And the first 4 Braves have gone in order.
It's good that we got the umpires in here in the second inning. May not have that opportunity again after this game's over.
Yeah, someone will be running down to check the spelling of some of their names.
Some of the semi-pro umpires that may be umpiring if the umpires do what they say they will do after this game and go on strike tomorrow morning.
Batter now is Klesko. There's Eric Gregg working the plate here tonight. There's a lot to talk about with regard to that situation. The Roberto Alomar spitting incident. And we will definitely get into this as the game progresses. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Klesko, who committed a very costly error in the Dodger first inning. That is hit a ton into right field, and this game is tied at 1.
Off the ground. That ball was about 4 inches off the ground. Fooled out on his front foot. He one-handed a ball about 395 feet. Watch this swing.
Number 24, Jermaine Dye.
Folks, it takes a lot of strength to hit a ball that far in that fashion.
Klesko has plenty of that. Here's Jermaine Dye. He comes up empty. 4 postseason home runs for Ryan Klesko in his young career.
3 against Cleveland last year.
So Valdez and the Dodgers give up that early 1-run lead in a blink. McGriff taps back to the pitcher. Klesko goes deep to right. Now Jermaine Dye grounds sharply to Wallach. 2 out in the second.
There's just sometimes that a pitcher has to tip his hat to a hitter. I mean, Valdez did everything he wanted to do with that curveball. He got it down. He got it away. Ryan Klesko was fooled on the pitch and still hit it almost 400 feet.
1 run home, 2 out, nobody on. The batter will be Eddie Perez. During the regular season, hit .256, 4 home runs. And he has become the quote-unquote personal catcher for Greg Maddux. The numbers are amazing when you compare what Maddux did this year with Perez behind the plate as opposed to what he did with Javier Lopez behind the plate. Maddux 10-5 with Eddie Perez behind the plate, an ERA of 1.89, with Javier Lopez 5-6 and an ERA of 3.44. Into center field, a 2-out hit for Perez. And the inning will continue for Blauser.
Think about Eddie Perez toiling in the Atlanta minor leagues for 9 years and then finally getting a shot to come up and stay, catching Greg Maddux for the most part. He's caught every game since June 17th for Greg. Plops a single into right center.
It's not a bad career move, latching on to Greg Maddux.
That's latching on to the right guy.
I'll take your jacket out to the bullpen. I'll really do whatever you want, Greg. Just take me with you, please. Blauser grounds into the 5-4 force out. Klesko goes deep, and after an inning and a half on a beautiful night at Dodger Stadium, tied at 1.
brought to you by Toyota and their full line of trucks. Toyota trucks always come through. By the U.S. Army. Be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. And by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
One of the world's most enduring symbols, a Goodyear blimp Eagle based in Carson, California, has been providing beautiful aerial pictures for today's game. They'll continue doing it. 1996 marks the 71st consecutive year that a Goodyear blimp has flown over a major sporting event. There's strike one on Raul Mondesi underway in the bottom of the second. It'll be Mondesi, Wallach, and Gagne for the Dodgers. We're tied at 1. Maddux gets a visit from Eddie Perez.
After one pitch, that's unusual. I have no idea what Eddie would want to talk to Greg about. If there were a man on second base, you may be changing the signals.
Maybe you're just reminding Greg that he is his personal catcher, and wherever Greg goes, take me with you.
Nothing wrong with reminding him of that either.
There's a strike over the outside corner, strike 2.
Raul Mondesi, a bad ball hitter. He likes the ball down out of the strike zone. Hitters say he can rake, and you know that hot zone down and in. He didn't miss that pitch.
Over the outside corner, and on 3 straight, Maddux does away with Raul Mondesi.
Third baseman, number 29.
Outside corner to Raul Mondesi. What Greg Maddux does, he makes X's. He runs the ball in on right-handers. He can run the breaking ball in and away to right-handers, the slider away, and then this is his strikeout pitch, preferably to left-handed batters. You'll see the arms go up sometime tonight, and that fastball tailing back over the inside corner. It's impossible to guess with Greg Maddux.
I think people would be surprised to know just how many fastballs Greg Maddux will throw during the course of a night. It's just variations on the fastball and what it will do once it leaves his hand. 2-0 the count on Tim Wallach with 1 out, nobody on. That caught the corner, 2-1. And Maddux will tell you he will get ahead 0-2. There's no waste pitch. He'll come right after the hitter with the next pitch, as he did with Mondesi. 3-1 now on Wallach. Gagne waits on deck. Wallach has been a nice addition to this Dodger club after being let go from the California Angels. Played in 45 games during the regular season and provided not only a third baseman to play every day, Tim, but a leader and a guy who really wants to get to the World Series before it's all over. This is probably it in a big league career for Tim Wallach.
Tim telling us that he wants to take a year off, spend with his family, and then would like to come back into baseball. And baseball needs good men like Wallach. He's a good man.
Full count on Tim, and he shoots it down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair. It is foul, and the count stays 3-2. Does not take much to get the ball out of here down the left field line and the right field line.
Tim Wallach flying out to right field a couple of times yesterday, and this pitch by Maddux low and away and tailing away from Jermaine Dye. About 10 feet foul. Could have had the distance, however.
So Wallach stays at the plate with a count of 3-2. Trying to get on ahead of Gagne. Dodgers got a run in the first inning on a leadoff hit by Hollinsworth and an error by Klesko. And then 2 groundouts produced the RBI for Piazza. Braves tied it on a Ryan Klesko home run. Now Wallach trying to shoot the gap in right center. It slices to Dye. And Jermaine puts it away. 2 up, 2 down.
Shortstop, number 7, Greg.
So Wallach gone. The batter will be Greg Gagne.
Greg Gagne with half of the Dodgers offense yesterday. Single and a double. He was 2 for 4. A guy who has had a ton of big hits. You talked to Bill Russell, and he said a guy gets lost in the shuffle. A guy like Greg Gagne missed 3 weeks in the middle of the season. had a wrist problem. Juan Castro filled in. But this guy is used to getting big hits in postseason play, too. And so was he.
Billy Russell playing in 49 games in the postseason at shortstop. Second most, second only to Phil Rizzuto's 52. So he knows what this feeling is like. However, first time for Bill going through it as a manager. An 0-2 count on Gagne with 2 out, nobody on here in the second. Maddux already wearing out the corners of the plate. Came right after him. Gagne gone. 2 strikeouts in the inning. And after 2, we're tied at 1. We'll be back to Dodger Stadium after these messages from your local Fox station. What you see now is the end of a comebacker off the bat of Greg Maddux. Back to Ismael Valdez. Maddux grounds out on the first pitch, and he's the first out here in the 3rd inning. And for the entire look at the ground out, the comebacker, here you go.
Just a routine play for Valdez. Greg Maddux, along with Tommy Glavine, John Smoltz, all the Atlanta pitchers, help themselves as far as their offense is concerned. Guys who can bunt very well. They feel their positions very well. They do more than just pitch well.
Here's Grissom, who struck out his first time. I think it would be fair to say, though, that for a guy like Maddux, there are certain at-bats he takes more seriously than others. That time went up there, hacked to the first pitch. The comebacker goes sit down. Marquise Grissom, what a year he has had. As I mentioned, the 207 hits for the year. The outfield hits by direction give you a look. Grissom tough to defense all the way across. A ball and 2 strikes on Marquise with Lemke on deck.
Marquise has a 15-game postseason hitting streak. He has never gone hitless in a postseason game. That's a record for a player starting out in postseason play. The record for consecutive games, Hank Bauer of the New York Yankees. Pat Borders with 16, Bauer with 17.
A ball and 2 strikes. Valdez misses the outside corner. 2-2. I think it'd be fair to say Marquise Grissom gets overlooked on this Atlanta team.
Overlooked by everybody but the pitching staff.
Defensively and what he does at the top of this lineup, no doubt. Still 2-2. Grissom had a down year last year, hit .258, but was bothered by a bad left heel. Now here he is healthy. There was a report here in the paper that he had a torn right rotator cuff. That is incorrect. Right shoulder bothering him a little, but nothing close to a torn rotator cuff. That's a broken bat pop-up to Karras. 2 out. So Marquise is 0 for 2, and the batter will be Mark Lemke.
Mark Lemke.
You brought up the umpire situation. Baseball umpires, they're upset still about the Roberto Alomar incident. Richie Phillips saying that, here's a quote, "We are walking out after the last game tonight." Lemke at the plate. Down the left field line and sail out of play. Lawyers for the umpires and baseball owners to appear Friday in U.S. District Court in Philadelphia, where the American and National Leagues have asked for an injunction that would prevent yet another baseball walkout. There are some very interesting quotes as you read the wire copy that was generated today. We'll get into it in the bottom of the 3rd. Braves go in order in the top half of inning number 3. Ismael Valdez has made only 1 mistake, a home run he gave to Ryan Klesko. Tied at 1. Finish to his career as a Dodger. Maddux, that's why he wins Gold Gloves. Castro is the first out here in the Dodger 3rd. Talking about some of those interesting quotes that came down on the wire copy. Richie Phillips saying we're not making any progress toward a settlement, any progress whatsoever. Maybe another look at the Maddux play. Phillips went on to say there's no room for compromise. They can offer us everything in the world, and they've offered us a lot. And there's nothing that would change our stance. Strong words from Richie Phillips. As Valdez grounds out to second. The interesting thing is about this situation, if you want to look at precedent, there is precedent for dealing with this type of situation.
Goes back about 55 years, as a matter of fact.
It goes back to 1942, Game 3 of the World Series between the New York Yankees and the St. Louis Cardinals. Frank Crissetti in Game 3 shoved umpire William Summers. At the time, the commissioner was Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis, who is regarded as one of the strong hand commissioners in the history of the game of baseball.
That's why he was made the commissioner back in 1920.
And Landis went on to levy a penalty citing public interest that the suspension would happen the following season. 30 games to start out the 1943 season, as opposed to missing the rest of the World Series. I saw a quote by Jerry Crawford, National League umpire, saying they make a distinction between the two, talking about postseason games as opposed to regular season games, saying that there is no distinction. I disagree. I think there is definitely a distinction between regular season games and postseason games. Hollinsworth at the plate with a count of 1-2. Now 2-2. So while everybody is pining for a strong-handed commissioner like Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis, go back to what he did in 1942. It is an assault on an umpire.
That was just an assault. I say just. That was shoving the umpire. To me, this is much worse.
Much more vile in nature, there's no doubt, what Roberto Alomar did to John Hirschbeck. We'll take a break, come back for the top of the 4th inning. Maddux is rolling. Good game. Braves and Dodgers through 3 are tied at 1. We are ready for the 4th inning here at Dodger Stadium. A 1-1 game, and Ismael Valdez back to work as he takes on Chipper Jones, hits the inside corner. He went inside on Chipper Jones, caught the corner, strike 1. Strike 2. 0 for 3 in this division series. Rounded out to first, his first time up here tonight.
You notice the first time up, Chipper Jones was pitched away by Valdez. He eventually grounded out to first. This time around, 2 fastballs in, and then he went away.
Inside corner, got him, 1 away. And the second strikeout for Ismael Valdez.
National League batters are batting 196 against Valdez the first time through the order. 262 after that. Young pitchers, along with any pitcher, really, you have to change your strategy after you get him out one way, then go back to another way the second time up. And that's what Valdez did. 3 strikes on the inside corner.
1 out, nobody on for the Braves here in the 4th inning, and the batter is McGriff. Fred tapped back to Valdez his first time. That's strike 1. I guess to wrap up about the umpire's incident, I think you and I are both in agreement. After that vile incident and what Roberto Alomar did to John Hirschbeck, the main problem with it all is the extremely light sentence and punishment given to Alomar. Only 5 games.
The punishment didn't fit the crime. I don't think there's any question about that.
Not even close. And had they looked at precedent and ruled along those lines, well, I think it would have been tougher for the umpires to take exception to what Dr. Budig handed down. Second inning, Ryan Klesko went deep. He hit the home run with 1 out in the second. It was his 35th of the year. If you want to count the 1 and add it to his 34 during the regular season. Now he gets under 1 and pops it into right. And again, the Braves go in order. Ismael Valdez rolling. We are through 3 1/2 at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers come to bat, tied with Atlanta 1-1. Bottom of the 4th inning, Dodgers bat tied at 1 with the world champion Braves. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for LA. Kirby, Piazza, and Karras. Wayne Kirby 0 for 1, but an effective at bat his first time up, getting Hollinsworth over to third with a ground out to the right side.
Well, the last 2 games, I think the Dodgers and the Braves have shown they can win with the long ball, and they can also win with the little ball. Mark Lemke advanced a runner. Very important play in yesterday's game to play to run. Kirby did the same thing tonight, and then you have the 2 home runs.
Strike 2, the count on Wayne Kirby. Greg Maddux gave up a first-inning run. Wonder if the Dodgers would have scored without the error committed by Klesko in left. Leadoff hit by Hollinsworth, the only hit for LA so far, and the count 1-2 on Kirby.
Well, Ryan giveth and Ryan taketh away.
Absolutely.
Too. Coming back with a home run his first at bat, he made up for that error.
Maddux has Kirby shut up. And the ground ball to McGriff, the easy flip, 1 away. With that, we will give you our Mitsubishi playoff picture. San Diego leading St. Louis. Actually, St. Louis leading San Diego 2 games to none. Game 3 is Saturday at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. Our series here, and then in the American League, Baltimore leading Cleveland 2 games to none, and New York and Texas tied 1 game apiece. One out here in the Dodger 4th, and the batter is Mike Piazza. And RBI ground out his first time up. That's a rocket into center field. Now it gets behind Grissom and Klesko, and Piazza's at second with only 1 out.
Normally outfield defense is not as important as infield defense, but this game has shown, as Piazza rifles one up the middle, this game has shown that outfield defense very, very important. First, you had the error by Klesko on the ball hit by Hollinsworth. Don't know who's going to get that error. Probably Grissom would be the guy, but certainly it's not a double, and no error has been put up there yet.
They put up an error on the center fielder Grissom. He initially went after it with a bare hand. He missed it. It's funny, you and I were talking about it before the game.
Yeah.
Klesko only 5 errors all year in left. Grissom only 1 error all year in center. Each has committed an error so far. We're not even through 4 innings. RBI chance for Karras. You get your chance against Greg Maddux, and you better take advantage of it.
Yeah, Wayne Kirby would be the guy to move the runner over with nobody out, but not Eric Karras. He's your RBI guy, 111 RBIs this year. If he moves him over, fine. He'd rather move him in.
Runner at second, 1 out. And a 1-2 count on Eric Karras. Kirby grounded out to start the inning. Piazza the single and then the error. And a runner at second, 1 out. Maddux trying to get Karras. Caught the corner, 2 out.
That's that tailing fastball that we talked about. Hitters just give up on that pitch. It starts off the plate and tails back over the plate. See the little tail at the end? Ball probably a little outside, but Eddie Perez framing the pitch very, very well. And usually when you're ahead in the count and the pitcher hits the target, especially a guy with the control of Maddux, you get that strike.
Now Piazza, the runner at second, 2 out, and Mondesi gets into one to center. Grissom over his head. Dodgers lead as Piazza scores in the 4th.
Looked like a hanging breaking ball from Greg Maddux. Marquise Grissom, one of the reasons he's such a fine center fielder is he plays shallow. You get burned occasionally. This is one pitch, the only pitch in this game that Greg Maddux would like back. That was a real hanger. You don't see him throw many of those. But the error, once again, costly on the Braves.
Now Wallach fouls one back and out of play. It didn't look, at least to me, like Grissom got a real good jump on that ball, but it was hit just so hard, Grissom had no chance to get back on it.
That's generally the toughest ball for a center fielder to field and to read. That ball was hit like a rocket over the head of Grissom. Not a lot of hang time.
Now Mondesi, the runner at second, 2 out, and a 1-1 count on Wallach. The Dodgers lost here yesterday 2-1 in 10 innings. Tonight they come in needing a win, facing Greg Maddux, and here in the 4th inning they've taken a 2-1 lead. Runner at second, 2 out, and a 2-1 count on Wallach.
Got a shot at Ramon Martinez, who worked 8 innings, giving up only 1 run yesterday. Marvelous job by Martinez. Again, the Dodgers lost 2-1 in 10 innings.
Wallach looking for a 2-out RBI hit. 2-2. Yesterday it was Antonio Osuna giving up the game-winning home run to Javier Lopez. This Dodger bullpen has lost 4 in a row, but still regarded as the best in the National League. Runner at second, 2 out. The 2-2 to Wallach. Very defensive swing to stay alive.
The reason Tim Wallach went after that pitch, he saw what Greg Maddux did to Eric Karros and how liberal Eric Gregg's strike zone was. Understandably, this ball off the plate away. Wallach just a piece of it.
Dodgers have taken the lead. Maddux gives a look at Mondesi. A 1-out hit by Piazza, then the error. Karras struck out looking, and a 2-out RBI double by Mondesi. Now the 2-2 to Wallach. Down the right field line, slicing foul. You see Mondesi, the runner at second. The lower half of the body of Raul Mondesi is just solid muscle.
Armored personnel carrier.
He can go first to third or second to home with a burst of speed as well as anybody. Wallach trying to give him a chance to show off. That won't do it. Playable for McGriff. Inning over. The Dodgers, however, regain the lead. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. And after 4 at Dodger Stadium, 2-1 LA. We are ready for the 5th inning here at Dodger Stadium. Couple of injured outfielders on hand here today. Brett Butler, and boy, don't they miss him atop the Dodger lineup, and David Justice. David Justice went down on May 15th with a dislocated left shoulder. Stepping in and filling in very well is the rookie Jermaine Dye. During the regular season, Dye hit .281. 12 home runs, 37 driven in so far in the playoff, 0 for 5. One ball, 1 strike. Out in front, strike 2. David Justice, when he went down after 40 games, hitting .321, 6 home runs. The others hitting .247, 17 home runs since. You're talking about the better part of the season. Dye strikes out looking, and for Valdez, that's strikeout number 3. Saturday, it's Game 3 of the National League Division Series when Mike Piazza, the Los Angeles Dodgers, battle Fred McGriff and the defending world champion Braves. The road to the World Series on Fox continues live, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. That's on Saturday. Here we are on a Thursday, and the Dodgers desperately needing a win. Eddie Perez pops it up into left. Hollingsworth, 2 out.
Notice the pitching patterns for both pitchers similar in that hitters have seen very few balls down the middle of the plate tonight.
Jeff.
The strikeouts away by Valdez, Jermaine Dye, and Greg Maddux with 4 strikeouts. Similar pitching patterns. Not a lot of fat fastballs to hit off these guys.
By the way, against Maddux, 2 unearned runs. An unearned run in the first inning and an unearned run in the 4th for the 2 Dodger runs, and they lead 2-1.
So the take break by Jeff Blauser. Normally that's not a good play with 2 out and nobody on, but with the pitcher coming up next to clear the pitcher, it could be a good play.
Into right center field, long run for Wayne Kirby. He's got it, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Valdez. Now after 4.5 at Dodger Stadium, Dodgers lead by 1.
Fox Sports coverage of Major League Baseball's Division Series is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher, because every athlete has the right to be quenched. Life is a sport. Drink it up. By Advil, advanced medicine for pain. And by Network MCI. We have the power to put it all together for your business.
This game is less than an hour old, and we're already in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers batting, and they lead 2-1. Gagne pops one into right. Dye back to get it, 1 up. Gagne 0 for 2. Well, the aerial pictures you have been provided here tonight, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Today's pilot, Tom Maddux, from Huntington Beach, California. Tom is in that cockpit beneath the blimp.
That was probably the same shot that Walter O'Malley had with the mayor of Los Angeles back in 1957. In a helicopter over that site, he said, that looks like a nice site for a ballpark. The mayor said, nah, it's just a dump. No way. There's Peter O'Malley, Walter's son. This is an absolutely Camelot baseball surroundings.
See Tommy Lasorda dining here in the 5th inning, down in the front row of that box.
Yep. There's
Tommy protecting his side. Sipping a little water, getting healthy. I wonder if somewhere down the line Tommy Lasorda will return to the dugout as a manager somewhere.
My answer to that, no.
That's what he keeps saying. Juan Castro ahead of the count, 2-1. Another one back for Maddux. 2 out.
Tommy Lasorda has been mentioned as a possible bench coach with Bobby Valentine and the New York Mets.
Number 59.
I think the chances are non-existent as far as Tommy coming back with the Dodgers. And because he has bled Dodger blue so many years, going to another organization, I mean, you can't change your blood. You know,
that's where blue.
Years old.
That's where blue.
Blue and orange, though.
2 out, nobody on for Valdez. A 1-hopper to Chipper Jones. Dodgers go quickly and easily in the 5th. And after 5, with Tommy Lasorda looking on, dining and enjoying it, Dodgers lead 2-1.
Braves.
Here is this evening's Aflac trivia question. Since the World Series began in 1903, 5 teams have played 100 or more postseason games. Which 2 of them have lost more postseason games than they have won? Chew on that for a second.
Well, the Yankees, obviously, with most World Series wins than any other team at 22.
If you're going to lose a lot, you got to get there a lot.
I say the Yankees won 22, but I don't think they are in that losing more than they've won.
Good breaking ball from Valdez, and quickly an 0-2 count. Right now, this game has lasted 1 hour 6 minutes. Flying by. 6th inning, 2-1. The Dodgers out in front. Tim, one of the reasons, first pitch strikes. Valdez on 14 of the 18 hitters he has faced. Maddux on 17 of the 18 hitters he has faced. A ball and 2 strikes, 1 out.
That's what we talked about at the top, Joe. Baseball is a game of firsts, and the more you execute, the first pitch for a strike, first out in an inning, first run in a game, the more baseball games you're going to win.
Well, the Dodgers have to be thrilled with what Ismael Valdez has given them here tonight. He's now retired 11 in a row. He struck out 4. And the Dodgers right now are clinging to a 2-1 lead. Here's Grissom 0 for 2.
We talked about the Dodger bullpen. Ismael Valdez has no complete games this year. None. So you got to figure that if he gets through this inning and maybe the next inning, then possibly the bullpen will come into play in the 8th and 9th.
1 out, nobody on, and a strike to Grissom. Now strike 2. Ismael Valdez last year, however, had 6 complete games, but none in 1996. Quickly an 0-2 count on Grissom. To the right side for Castro. 2 out.
There have not been a lot of loud outs in this ball game. A lot of weak ground balls the other way. Both pitchers in total control. The 2 hardest balls hit for the Dodgers, the single by Piazza up the middle, the double by Mondesi, and for the Braves, the home run by Klesko. That's been about it.
It's really what everybody expected coming into this series with the Dodgers pitching staff, as you mentioned, #1 in the league with a team ERA of 3.46. The bullpen having a lot to do with that. The Braves #2 in the league. There's strike 1 on Lemke. 3.52. And the Dodgers, at least in the starting rotation, trying to match these Braves pitch for pitch. Smoltz, however, was the winner in game 1 here yesterday. Valdez has sent down 12 in a row. Strike 2. And if he can get Lemke, he'll have Chipper Jones leading off in the 7th. To the left side, a base hit. Pitch was up and away, and Lemke just stuck the bat out and poked it through the left side for a 2-out single.
That's a good piece of hitting by Lemke, protecting the outside part of the plate. As a hitter, you can only take what the pitcher gives you with 2 strikes. And Lemke takes the single to left. This is a defensive, intelligent swing by Lemke.
And a big hit. It continues the inning for Chipper Jones, who hit 30 home runs during the regular season. He's the go-ahead run at the plate, ball 1. Chipper so far is hitless in this series, 0 for 4, 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out and struck out. Check on Lemke, who doesn't figure to be going anywhere. Stole 5 bases during the regular season. They want Chipper Jones up with a man on. Into left center field, pretty well hit. Kirby going back to get it. Wayne is there, and the inning is over. A 2-out hit by Lemke. 1 left. Braves have left only 2. Bottom of the 6th inning, Dodgers bat. They lead 2-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, Dodgers bat. They'll have the top of their lineup to face Greg Maddux. They lead 2-1. Here's Todd Hollingsworth. Todd led off the game for the Dodgers with a hit into left, and Klesko booted the ball. A couple of ground balls later, the Dodgers had their first run of the night. Maddux has allowed the Dodgers 2 runs on 3 hits.
Todd Hollingsworth could be the 5th consecutive Dodger Rookie of the Year. Eric Karros, Mike Piazza, Raul Mondesi, Hideo Nomo last year. Probably Hollingsworth this year.
I guess his stiffest competition would be Edgar Renteria, the shortstop of the Marlins.
Todd Hollandsworth, the #1 pick of the Dodgers back in '91. There are the Rookies of the Year for Los Angeles. They also had 4 consecutive Rookies of the Year from '79 through '82.
Struck him out over the inside corner, and for Maddux, that is strikeout number 5. Well, what's going on tomorrow in the baseball playoffs? The AL Division Series, Baltimore at Cleveland. The Orioles leading 2 games to none. That's 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And then the AL Divisional Series, New York and Texas. Series tied 1 game apiece. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern on NBC. We will bring you game number 3 of this series on Saturday. Back in Atlanta, it will be Hideo Nomo and Tommy Glavine. 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. Hope you join us. Right at McGriff. 2 out. By the way, this year, Hideo Nomo 2-0 with an ERA of 1.61 and 3 starts against Atlanta.
Catcher, number 31.
This ball is not hit hard. Sometimes an infielder that's playing close for a bunt play, if the ball's right at him or 1 step away from him, you can't determine the speed of the ball. Fred thought it was hit harder than it was. Ends up making an easy play.
So the first 2 are gone for the Dodgers here in the 6th inning. Top of the order doing nothing. And with the bases empty, in steps Piazza, and he looks at a strike over the outside corner. Mike has a hit, a run scored, and his ground out was good for an RBI back in the 1st. Coming in Piazza's last 7 games, in 27 at-bats, he had only 5 hits, and it struck out 10 times. Here's the scouting report on Mike.
Make a mistake out over the plate. Be way in if you're coming in. Tremendously strong, and then go out of the zone away.
Into right. Jermaine Dye on the track, and the Dodgers go in order. Dodgers leading 2-1 after 6. We'll be back to Dodger Stadium after this from your local Fox station. We are into the top of the 7th inning. If you're a little late tuning in, sorry, you've missed 6 innings. Our Aflac trivia question: since the World Series began in 1903, 5 teams have played 100 or more postseason games. Which 2 of them have lost more postseason games than they have won?
My guess would be the Cardinals and the Athletics.
I think that's an outstanding guess. And here would be the answer: the Dodgers and the Giants.
Not even close.
Dodgers 67 and 81, including yesterday's loss. The Giants 50 and 57. Hideo Nomo charting pitches here tonight. He gets the ball on Saturday in Atlanta, and as I mentioned, 2-0 with an ERA of about a run and a half in 3 starts against Atlanta this year. And he could be on the mound in a very important game, not just for the Dodgers, but in this series if LA can hang on here tonight.
Charting pitches for his best friend on the Dodgers, Ismael Valdez. They communicate a rather difficult form of sign language.
McGriff leads it off, then Klesko, then Dye. Let's go back to that.
Well, the reason they do that is that Valdez doesn't speak Japanese,
okay,
and Hideo doesn't speak Spanish. I mean, that's pretty easy.
McGriff speaks long ball into dead center field. It is gone. And the game is tied at 2.
That should bring a smile to Greg Maddux's face. Fastball low and out over the plate, and that familiar curl of Fred McGriff. That little curl around the head. Boy, did he tattoo that one. Kirby tries his best. Not enough.
Number 18.
Boy, was that ball crushed.
Great effort by Kirby in center. 2 home runs for the only 2 runs tonight for Atlanta. This one by McGriff and one earlier in the 2nd inning by Ryan Klesko, who digs in now. 6th in the postseason for McGriff. As you saw, 28 home runs during the regular season for McGriff, but Tim, 20 before the All-Star break, only 8 after. Ryan Klesko now looks at a ball, and it's 2-1.
Fred McGriff has the most unorthodox finish of any hitter in either league. It's almost like he is using a whip for his backlash, that bat going over his head, similar to Klesko, and I would imagine Klesko's picked up some of that hitting behind McGriff. Watch after contact at right hand. At right hand, bringing that bat almost like a helicopter over the head.
Klesko strikes out looking for the first out, and he gets into the face of Eric Gregg. A home run and a strikeout, so Valdez bounces right back.
Remember, we talked about it earlier, the fastball away, that ball right on the corner. Not only on the corner, on the front part of the plate. Piazza caught it off the plate.
Now Jermaine Dye into deep left field. A 3-home run night and a 3-2 lead Atlanta.
Curveball to Dye. No doubt about it. Both home runs have been crushed. You see Marquise Grissom right there. The Braves took that 17-day road trip, the longest in the majors this year. They came off the plane, and Marquise said, "Where are you staying tonight?" He said, "I don't know." Jermaine Dye has been living in his home since August 3rd.
Ismael Valdez has given up only 5 hits. 3 of them home runs here tonight. 2 in the inning. 1 by McGriff to tie it. 1 by Dye to put the Braves on top. 3-2 in the 7th inning, and the Dodgers make a pitching change. Well, when you each hit a home run in the same inning, you go sit next to each other. Fred McGriff tied this game with a home run to dead center field. Leading off here in the top of the 7th inning, and Jermaine Dye goes deep to KO Ismael Valdez, who ends up going 6 1/3 innings, only 5 hits, but 3 of them home runs.
Interesting thing about Jermaine Dye, with Pedro Astacio, the new pitcher, he worked 6 2/3 innings in Sunday's game, a game won by the Padres in 11 innings, 2-0. Interesting thing about Jermaine Dye, he had a home run his first at bat in the major leagues to become the 71st player to ever do that. And he's had a home run in his last at bat in the major leagues.
1 out. Nobody on. 2 runs home. The Braves out in front 3-2. And the batter is Eddie Perez. Perez has a hit, 1 out of 2. Facing Pedro Astacio, who, if the Dodgers get into a longer series, if they can get to the National League Championship Series and their chances dwindling with each ball that heads over the outfield wall, Pedro Astacio will be the 4th starter for Bill Russell. 2 balls and a strike on Eddie Perez. Another 1-run game. And a 3-2 Atlanta lead. Gagne to his left. Perez is the 2nd out here in the 7th. Well, you've been waiting all summer for the season premiere of The X-Files. Tomorrow, the wait is finally over. The truth is out there, and nothing can prepare you for it. The X-Files season premiere tomorrow at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Fox. Beautiful night at Dodger Stadium. But the fans and the Dodger players have to be a little restless and very concerned. Down 3-2. 2 out, nobody on in the 7th inning. Here's the number 8 hitter, Jeff Blauser. 3-2 the count. Astacio takes over here in the 7th inning. Ismael Valdez, who allowed 20 home runs during the regular season, has allowed 3 here tonight. There was nothing cheap about any one of the 3 either. Not unhappy to see Pedro Astacio, a 300 hitter. Blauser during the regular season this year in 83 games hit 245.
A lot of people think that any ball that's hit out of the park, that it was a mistake. The only mistake, in my opinion, of the 3 hit out was the curveball to Dye. That was a real hanger, and that's one that Ismael wishes he would have back. The other 2, got to tip your hat to the hitters.
Count stays 2-2 on Blauser. You remember when Justice went down in mid-May, everybody speculating, well, who would the Braves go get? Probably rent Joe Carter. He'll be a free agent. Blue Jays will trade him to Atlanta. He re-ups with Toronto. They pick up Mark Whitten, who, after a brief stay in Atlanta, ended up with Seattle. The big part of their late season success. They stick with Dye. He hits 12 regular season home runs as a rookie, and now he hits his first postseason home run to put Atlanta on top. Breaking ball, see ya. Astacio comes in and shuts the door in the top of the 7th inning, but it's time to stretch after 2 home runs by the Braves. They lead the Dodgers 3-2. Pictures from overhead from the Goodyear blimp. We get into the bottom of the 7th inning. Dodgers batting, and Eric Karras looks at a strike. Goodyear blimp Eagle has been providing aerial pictures all night long. The Goodyear blimps travel over 100,000 miles every year, covering major sporting events, and this qualifies as a major sporting event. A 3-2 Atlanta lead, and Karras quickly behind 0-2. Then Mondesi, then Wallach. Caught the corner, one away, and Eric has had a frustrating night. A ground out, a pair of strikeouts, and that'll bring in Raul Mondesi.
Eric Karras was the batter yesterday in the 9th inning when Marquise Grissom, or I should say this is today, the ball hit by Raul Mondesi over the head of Grissom. Marquise just missing it. Yesterday, Grissom with a better angle on Karras's fly ball makes a dazzling catch. Tale of 2 fly balls right there.
Here is Mondesi, who has that RBI double. Sailed over the head of Grissom in center his last time up. Put the Dodgers out in front 2-1, but in the top of this 7th inning, home runs by McGriff and Dye. Big swing by Mondesi, strike 2. Chan Ho Park, the hard-throwing right-hander, getting ready for the Dodgers in their bullpen.
I don't think Raul Mondesi is going to see another strike from Maddux during this at-bat. With 2 strikes, notorious for going after bad balls.
Coming into this inning, the Dodgers had scored 8 runs in their last 55 innings. Their offense is dead fast asleep. 2 out.
That's that breaking ball down and away to Mondesi. Raul Mondesi has one thing
Number 29.
that is not good as far as the way he plays the game. It's going after bad balls with 2 strikes. Maddux, of course, knows that.
2 out, nobody on for Wallach. In the hole, Blauser. Tough play, has time, inning over. Good play by Jeff Blauser. And that will do it for the Dodgers in the 7th inning. They go in order. Maddux in control after 7, 3-2 Atlanta. We get into the 8th inning here at Dodger Stadium. Braves come to bat. And the conversation between Greg Maddux and Bobby Cox and Leo Mazzoni in the background. Well, you know what they're talking about. Maddux's spot sent to lead off here in the 8th inning, and the Braves are going to go to their bench, and after that to their bullpen.
Greg had 5 complete games this year, and Bobby Cox telling us before the game that Greg McMichael would be his setup man, and he's consistent with that. I think this is a twofold move to get some more runs. Polonia, 12 for his last 18 during the regular season.
Leading it off and taking ball 1. Amazing that Greg Maddux threw 15 straight strikes the end of his night, and for the entire night, Tim, only 14 out of the strike zone.
Kind of scary. Yesterday, John Smoltz, 17 straight strikes in that game. Frightening efficiency.
2-0, the count on Polonia, leading it off. Now 2-1. For the Dodgers, a left-hander Guthrie. On your right, and the right-hander Chan-Ho Park. Now 2-2 on Polonia. You look at what Greg Maddux has done with Atlanta. 70 and 29 since signing on with the Braves. Look at how he finished off his night in the 7th inning against Karras, Mondesi, and Wallach. Struck out Karras, struck out Mondesi. Wallach grounded out. Big money pitcher, and when he smells blood, it's lights out. The humpback liner to Gagne. And Polonia is gone to start the 8th inning.
Greg Maddux, the winningest pitcher in the 90s, followed by his teammate Tommy Glavine. John Smoltz is 4th. Jack McDowell sandwiched in there. Ramon Martinez, we mentioned his fine effort yesterday. And Chuck Finley of the Angels, 1 shy of a century mark.
Interesting that since 1991, however, Glavine has won more games than Maddux, but it's, you know, take your pick. And Glavine will pitch game 3 on Saturday against Hideo Nomo. And if the Braves can hang on here, that would be a chance to clinch the division series with the Dodgers. Backhanded play, Gagne. Good play. 2 out. And Grissom 0 for 4 tonight.
This is a very unusual play. Rarely will you see a shortstop charge a ball and then backhand the ball. Usually on a backhand play, he goes to his right. That ball took a tricky hop right there. Soft hand, strong arm. Good play.
I would imagine another factor is with Grissom running, he didn't feel he had time to circle it.
Right.
Get behind it and throw. So the backhanded stab in the out. That's 4 in a row retired by Estacio since he entered last inning. Make it 5. Lemke, the comebacker, inning over. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Braves take Maddux out. They go to their bullpen. McMichael will try to protect a 3-2 Atlanta lead.
Of Major League Baseball's Division Series is brought to you by Long Kiss Goodnight, starring Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson, rated R. By Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair for men and women. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailer.
We get ready for the bottom of the 8th inning. Along with Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck. Our producer, John Filippelli. Director, Billy Webb. Our game summary, Piazza. An RBI ground out in the 1st inning put the Dodgers out in front. Plesko, who had committed an error, hit the home run, his 4th in his postseason career, to tie it in the 2nd inning. Mondesi an RBI double. Dodgers back out in front, but in the 7th inning, McGriff tied it with a solo home run leading off. And with 1 out, Jermaine Dye goes deep into left field. We showed you earlier the conversation between Greg Maddux and Bobby Cox. Be interesting to listen in on that conversation. I find it a bit peculiar, interesting to say the least, that he's taken out here going into the bottom of the 8th inning.
It looked like that conversation that Greg was resisting being taken out of the game. Nonetheless, it's Greg McMichael, 73 appearances on the season.
No matter what McMichael does the rest of the night, it's got to be a bit of a lift for the Dodgers to see Maddux out of this game. Maddux leaves having retired the last 10 hitters he faced. Strike 2 from McMichael.
I think, Joe, what may be going into Bobby Cox's thinking here is that minimize the innings of Greg Maddux because it's a best 3 out of 5 series. If it were a 4 out of 7 series and Maddux was going to have 4 days rest, then you leave him in. But since it's 3 out of 5, he may have to come back with 3 days rest. That may be entering the thinking of Bobby Cox.
There is no doubt you take an awful big risk no matter who comes out of that bullpen when you pull Greg Maddux out of a game who was rolling along. Rest or no rest, he'd retired 10 in a row.
I'm not talking about rest tonight. I'm talking about his next start.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
It's a 3 out of 5 series.
However, as McMichael comes up with the strikeout, Maddux only threw 72 pitches.
Right.
And the way the Braves are playing and Maddux is pitching, the chances of this game or this series extending beyond 3 or 4 are slim.
Your attention,
well, a changeup from McMichael to Gagne out of the strike zone. That's his best pitch. So he has taken up where Maddux has left off.
Former closer for the Braves, now the setup man for Mark Wohlers. And Dave Hansen will come off the bench and pinch hit for the Dodgers here in the 8th inning. He bats for Juan Castro, who was 0 for 2 while he was in there. McMichael struck out Gagne to start the inning. Now Hansen with another pinch hitter to follow.
Greg McMichael with 2 types of changeups. One that can go away from a left-handed batter and one that goes away from a right-handed batter. Swinging an arm motion.
One out, nobody on, an 0-2 count on Hansen. Todd Worrell getting ready. Talked to Todd before the game, and he said it's now to the point where even if we don't have a lead, much like Mariano Rivera in last night's game for the Yankees, he could come into a game. Billy Ashley waits on deck just to keep the score as is. Right now, the Braves lead 3-2. Hansen did not offer it that pitch. 2-2.
Last night's game, the Texas Rangers leading the Yankees 4-2 in the 7th inning with 1 out and nobody on. Joe Torre bringing in Mariano Rivera. That high heat of his. This isn't high heat here. It's not low heat either. It's low. One changeup after another by McMichael.
1 out, nobody on. Hansen to the second baseman, Lemke. 2 quick outs here in the Dodger 8th. That'll bring in Billy Ashley. What a season he has had this season for the Dodgers off the bench. Here are his thoughts on coming off the bench for LA.
Realizing the fact that I've got one shot up there to do whatever's called upon to do, whatever I can do out there. And usually it's a big hit situation, maybe to drive in some runs, from second base, or a home run situation where, well, that's even more pressure thrown on you when you go up there.
5 pinch hit home runs this season for Billy Ashley. And a .345 average off the bench for the Dodgers. Ball 1.
The outfield of the Atlanta Braves deeper than they normally would be. A deep outfield in the late innings is almost baseball's answer to football's prevent defense. Give them anything in front of them, but nothing over their heads, especially with a guy as powerful as Ashley.
Coming up at the end of the game, Tim and I will select the Genuine Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. Ashley trying to throw his name into the hat. Strike 2.
McMichael is so deceptive. His arm motion tells you it's a fastball, but the pitch simply isn't there. It's at Change-up low and away to right-handers.
2 out, nobody on. 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Dodgers are guaranteed of having the top of their order bat again before the end of the night.
Same arm motion as the fastball, and yet he chokes the pitch for the changeup. He's thrown one after another tonight.
2-2 now to Ashley. 3-2. And if you're McMichael, you have to come right after Billy Ashley. Got it. And the 8th inning is over. A 1-2-3 frame for McMichael. Ashley comes up empty, and after 8, the world champions out in front, 3-2. We go to the 9th inning. The Braves hanging on 3-2. Billy Ashley, a big threat off the bench, and McMichael got him on a 3-2 pitch.
And Joe, you said a guy like McMichael will have to go right after Ashley, and he went after him with his staple pitch, that straight changeup.
Third baseman, Chipper Jones.
So McMichael, his first postseason test, and he passed that. A 1-2-3 8th inning, and now Todd Worrell takes over. Tied for most in the major leagues with Jeff Brantley with his 44 saves, set a Dodgers single season record, and it's his job to keep it a 3-2 game. Chipper Jones into left for Hollingsworth. 1 pitch, 1 out. And Chipper tonight 0 for 4.
Joe, talking about the mild controversy of Bobby Cox removing Greg Maddux when he was rolling along such fine fashion. Bobby Cox has so many weapons at his disposal. I mean, he could do a lot of things with his pitching staff. They are such a well-balanced ball club. Good speed, good power, good defense, excellent pitching. He has so many decisions where he can go one way or the other.
Here's McGriff. He looks at a ball. Delano DeShields enters the game at second base. He takes over and bats in the number 8 spot. Top of the 9th inning, a 3-2 Atlanta lead. McGriff went 1 ball, 1 strike. 95 miles per hour from Worrell. Dodgers hold the option on Todd Worrell's contract for next season. Told us earlier in the year that that's probably it for him in the big leagues. There's strike 2 to Fred McGriff. Boy, it'd be tough to go out if he's still throwing like this. A ball and 2 strikes on McGriff, who homered his last time up to tie the game back in the 7th. Piazza can't hang on, and the count stays 1-2, and that was off the foot of Eric Gray.
If the Dodgers can't come back to at least tie it in the bottom of the 9th, as we look at the McGriff home run, the fastball out over the plate from Ismael Valdez just crushed to center field. But if the Dodgers can't come back, the Worrell family will be down 2-0, 2-0. Tim with San Diego and Todd with the Dodgers.
Tim involved in that game for San Diego in St. Louis today. 1 out, nobody on, and now a 2-2 count on McGriff. Tim Worrell did not get a decision in that game. The Cardinals beat Doug Bachler and the Padres to go up 2 games to none as that series heads to this West Coast. Chipper Jones flying to left to start the inning. Now the 2-2. Piazza cannot hang on, and the count stays 2-2. It evidently bounced before Mike picked it up.
Piazza sitting outside. Worrell throwing awfully hard, and McGriff just getting the top half of the ball.
Ryan Klesko is homered here tonight in his first at bat back in the 2nd. 3 Brave runs, 3 Brave home runs. Klesko, McGriff, and Dye. One out, nobody on. 2-2 from Worrell. Got him. 2 gone.
Left fielder.
One high fastball after another.
Ryan
Finally gets Fred McGriff.
So 2 out here in the Brave 9th inning. And Ryan Klesko walks in. Because the Dodgers are on this 5-game losing streak, Worrell has not had many chances to pitch, especially with the game on the line. It's his job to keep it 3-2. So far, he's doing his job. He got Jones. He got McGriff. And it's 2-0 on Klesko.
And Joe, even with home run hitters, rarely do they go up and try to hit a home run. But here it is, the top of the 9th inning, 2 out, nobody on. Klesko is thinking about one thing right now, and that's the long ball.
And he's ahead on the count, 2-0. 3-0.
He will absolutely be hitting right here.
Bill Russell and the Dodgers are in trouble. Worrell 3-0 on Ryan Klesko. You were right. He was swinging, wasn't he?
That's a big league cut, wasn't it?
Wow. Worrell behind on the count, 3-1. A 2-out walk. Not the end of the world for Worrell, who now with 2 out and a man on.
Number 24.
Will face the right-handed hitting Jermaine Dye. The Braves will call on a pinch runner, Andrew Jones. He'll come in, pinch run, and then stay in and play left field. So they get the best of both worlds. More speed on the bases, and I would imagine in their estimation, although Klesko has improved as a left fielder, better defense in their outfield.
Andrew Jones in for late inning defense, and he's 19 years old.
What a ride it's been for Andrew. His season started in single-A baseball.
Unbelievable. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Bobby Cox had told Andrew, if you get a good jump, Worrell doesn't have a good move at first base, go ahead and try to steal it. But do it early in the count so Jermaine Dye doesn't have to take a pitch or two and get in the hole with Worrell pitching.
Andrew Jones last season, this season, absolutely owned the minor leagues. Every stop he made. He was surprised to get the call to come up to the big league club. And now here he is in the postseason for the world champs. He starts, stops, he's caught, he's out. Andrew lost his footing. And the Braves lose a 9th inning base runner. Good throw from Piazza. He's been doing it defensively for the Dodgers behind the plate. Quick tag Karras. Bottom of the 9th inning. Top of the order coming up. 3-2 Atlanta. Bottom of the 9th inning. Andrew Jones picked off to end the top of the 9th.
Strict orders from Bobby Cox. Run on the first pitch. He slips right there. The throw by Piazza is strong, but watch the tag by Karras. He tags the bag and not the hand until the hand was in there. So it looked like he was safe, but the reason he retreated was because of that slip.
Andrew Jones picked off to end the top of the 9th inning. Will stay in the game, play left. The new shortstop, Rafael Belliard. Mark Wohlers into the game. And this Dodger Stadium crowd, this might be their last time this season and a chance to cheer their Dodgers. Hollingsworth caught by Grissom.
Well, we talked about Marquise Grissom playing shallow. It's burned him once tonight on the ball hit by Mondesi, but I'll guarantee you of any other starting center fielder for any other club in the National League, that ball's a base hit. Grissom was in the perfect spot.
Wayne Kirby, 1 out, nobody on, 9th inning. Dodgers down by 1. Ball 1 from Wohlers. Leo Mazzoni sweating out this outing by Wohlers. And rocking away on the dugout bench. Two unearned runs tonight for the Dodgers. That's it. One ball, one strike.
Mark Wohlers, a similar pitcher to Todd Worrell. Both hard throwers, right around 95. Both with split finger fastball. Both with sliders. And both very successful.
Strike 2 on Kirby. The last 14 Dodger hitters have been retired in a row. The last Dodger hit was Mondesi's RBI double back in the 4th. Wohlers got the save in game 1 yesterday. He'll pitch game 3 in Atlanta. Still 2-2 on Kirby.
Wayne is in a position right now to get a predictable pitch. He'll get a fastball from Wohlers, and the reason for that, if you go to the splitter or the breaking ball, it's not only not your best pitch, but it's a pitch that you would more apt run the count to 3-2 with.
Got it. 2 out.
I think Mark Wohlers got a break right here. Eddie Perez does a terrific job framing that pitch. He caught it outside and watch the mid. He brings it back in, but that pitch was outside. Atlanta with a huge break on that fastball.
Atlanta with a 3-2 lead. And the Dodgers and their fans would want no one else at the plate than Mike Piazza. Tough to catch up. Strike 1. Strike 2. Wohlers just rearing back and letting it fly. An 0-2 count on Piazza, and the Dodgers down to their last strike. To the left side. Jones, good play, game over. And the first 2 belong to the world champion Atlanta Braves. They go up 2-0 in a 2-hour, 8-minute game here at Dodger Stadium, and now the series shifts back to Atlanta. The Dodgers in their last 58 innings, covering 6 games, 8 runs, 32 hits.
Against the best pitching staff in baseball.
McGriff's homer tied it. Jermaine Dye's home run put the Braves on top and eventually won it 3-2. We'll take a break, come back, and have finishing thoughts on a quick game here at Dodger Stadium. It belongs to the world champion Atlanta Braves. They beat the Dodgers 3-2, and they're up in the best-of-5 series, 2-0.